Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Inside Line Racing and to ILR2 here at a very dry Monza. At least for now. It is heavy rain, the full race, and we don't really quite know what we're going to see here today, but it could be a championship day. It's a very low chance, but Onyx could take this out today with a win, a Matt Tibos non-score, and Paco, who's not here, stick for lower, so that's one that's pretty much not there. So really, we're only relying on Onyx winning and Matt Tibos retiring. And in case you haven't noticed by Soup's noise there, he is here, and we both only just realised, yeah, Paco's not here.
Yeah, I thought there was somebody missing.
Yeah.
Paco's not here, so basically the championship hangs on Matt Tibos really today. If he DNFs, and I think if Neo has a bad race as well, then the championship is going to go to Onyx here. So, and again, full heavy rain for the entire race at Monza. That is a very large vamos from me.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm gonna. They're saying in the chat in our ILR2 chat that it's typhoon, but it just isn't, right? Basically, they're all trying to say it's typhoon, but it's not quite. It's as close to typhoon as you're gonna get really in ILR2 these days, though. We never really see it anymore. We always had to joke that I used to bring it with me, but maybe we'll finally get that returning. But yeah, what a championship decider we could get today. And Onyx certainly getting off to a flying start, straight into the 118s.
Yep, did forget to mention, we are in Italy. This is Monza, if you didn't notice, if you're new to F1 or whatever. Very famous circuit indeed, and one of the fastest circuits on the calendar, if not the fastest circuit on the calendar, highest average speed. And we're going to see very quick lap times, one in the 1:18s for ILR2. And I think these guys are going to be right in around ILR1 pace today. We saw it in previous rounds, but they're going to be right up there today. I'll have a quick check. I'm not quite sure what the ILR1 pole time was, but I definitely think the pole time here is going to be bang on the money with ILR1.
Well, one thing that could slow them down is obviously since they know it's going to be a full wet race, they could obviously do sort of slightly wet setups. That could be higher wings, for example, on the rear wing or something like that, and maybe difference with ballast and all that too. So we could actually see slower lap times than what you may expect, but still very quick anyway.
Yep. All right. So the pole time from ILR1 was from Lewis on a 1:18.5. So on his opening lap, Onyx has done a 1:18.9. Why is there a McLaren stopped at the pit out?
Is there?
Dropia has crashed into.
Oh, he's done what Roberto Mancini did in ILR5. Did someone else go in there as well?
No, Rafa almost collected him entirely. Anyway,
right.
That's an interesting crash.
I hope
we don't see that again.
I think Roberto Mancini did that on ILR5. We all found it very funny.
Yeah, of course. Monza, the home of the Tifosi, and it's going to be the home heroes of Tom and Matt Tibos, and of course Matt Tibos is the cork in the bottle for the championship. If he does DNF or non-score today, he's pretty much gifting Onyx a chance to take the title. But that's of course all hinging on Onyx winning. So, and of course it's going to be raining quite heavily.
Yes.
So we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see what happens.
So there goes Jake into P4. He told me earlier he's never finished a race around this track, and obviously we saw earlier if you were watching on Twitter as he takes a very unorthodox line through there trying to get back to the pits rather quickly. But now you saw on Twitter earlier how he retired from this race last season. Hopefully we don't see another crash through that very corner, the Curva Grande. Yeah. But yeah, I think he's probably the only guy all season to be in the points every race, or at least one of the only people. He's been incredibly consistent, and he's kept himself high in the championship as a result.
Yeah, he's done extremely well, actually. I think he is the most consistent driver out of everybody. I think he actually is the only guy who's finished in the points every single race so far. Matt Tibos is close, but he came 11th in race 1. So Jake has had a best finish of 4th, but he has not finished lower than 9th. So he is having a really good, consistent season, just yet to find the podium.
Or a win or anything, really.
Or win, yeah.
Typical.
Well, he hasn't won since Russia last
Yeah, I'm
season.
still waiting. He's only got 4 more races with us here on the PS4, I believe, as well. So we really
That is true, yeah.
need
That was
to
the news throughout the
see
week.
this happen now. Come on, we need to see. I need to see him win a race. You know what I mean? We need to see this happen.
Of course,
Even
yeah.
Bill, his brother, has been winning races this season instead of him. And we need to see both of them taking wins here.
Yeah, of course, you weren't here when Jake took his win in Russia last season.
My biggest regret.
In very dramatic fashion, I must say. Jake, been here on the PS4 side for, I think, is it 3 seasons now? 3
He's been
seasons.
here ever since I was here, anyway.
Yeah, but he is moving full time to the PC side next whenever this season ends. He already is on the PC side at the moment, but we won't be seeing him on the PS4 any longer. So we really want to see him just take that second win. He's only had 1 in his entire career on PS4, so hopefully he can find something. And he's currently in P4, but we'd love to see him on the top step again.
Absolutely. Now I'm on board, by the way, with Onyx. He just started his second lap, and like I said to you earlier, I haven't seen anyone in the ILR2 chat actually mention even a chance of a championship win today. So I think it'd be quite surprising if they turn around and actually win it at the end of this. But I think Onyx will win it, by the way, on amount of wins, because if he wins this one, I think it'd be impossible for Matt Tibbles to equal it anymore, because it'd be his 5th win this season.
Yep.
Matt Tibbles only has 1, and then only 3 rounds left after this. He'll only be able to go to 4. So yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, that's all your permutations.
Yep. We still have to actually see what happens. Onyx through a Scary now. Car looks nice and hooked up there, a little bit wide.
That
might be invalidated.
We'll find out. Looks like he's still pushing.
But you can see the sheer speeds we're getting up to here. 211 into... oh, the corner name's gone blank on me now. That's embarrassing. Parabolica, there we go. Coming down the DRS open now.
Oh,
and
does that beat it?
Does
that beat it?
I think that's beaten the ILR1 pole time by 200ths.
I'll have a look.
118.54. I think the ILR1 was 118.56.
See, I've jokingly called this tier ILR 1.1 on a few occasions, and I think that may have proven it's ILR 0.9. I can't believe that. I'm pretty sure it's beaten it. I think it has beaten it, yeah. I think it has. I'll tell you exactly what it's beaten it by as well. I'm just waiting for it to load. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he has. He's beaten it by 400ths.
Yeah.
Well,
118.
ILR 5.8.
Yeah. Brilliant.
That's ridiculous. He's half a second quicker than everybody else.
He's just on another level, isn't he? I mean, I don't know where he's found his speed from. I keep telling you as well, this is what I expected from Wise League, you see, last season, because Onyx came into this season in a very similar situation to the way Wise League came into the last one, where he had so much potential, but he couldn't find it. And sadly, Wise League never found it, but Onyx has come in this season, and he has instantly just got his foot down and absolutely dominated. And as I say, if he wins the title tonight, it'd be very much earned, and especially with laps like that, I cannot wait to see what he'll do in ILR1 on F1 2019. I just hope he can keep his pace, because that is extraordinary.
Unbelievable. Like, he's beaten Blizzard, he's beaten Lewis. Lewis was the pole sitter. Blizzard was P2. Unbelievable, really. The closest man right now is Ollie on a 119.0. But they're half a second off him. I don't know where these guys are going to find half a second, if they can at all.
I saw Tom saying he was struggling to get into I think he had, an 18.7 as his best on TT. I think Onyx even said he was aiming for a low 18 earlier. I don't know if he didn't. I'm pretty sure he had, though. So, I can't be even saying this, but expect this to possibly go even lower. I mean, that's only a second run. He'll get 1 or 2 more runs at this, won't he? So, I mean... Yeah. Keep touting it. And I know it doesn't really matter with 6 minutes to go, but at the minute, Matt Tibbles is last. So,
yes.
He really needs to get a lap in now. And just sort of...
Now, of course, we have to take into account that some of these guys, as well, could be running wet setups.
Mm-hmm.
So, Onyx might have just thrown caution to the wind and gone on to his normal dry setup and just gone for it, because I think if he gets the start, he will lead from the front.
Well, yeah.
He is, I think... He's a very dynamic driver. I think he'll adapt. I think he just wants that track position.
Yeah. Now I'm watching Flynn there. He's having a decent run now. He just got a decent slipstream as well off the back of one of the Williams. So we'll see how Flynn does round the last corner.
Yeah,
He's about to run out. He's running out of ERS though, so he's pitting. I don't think he would have got a lap there.
No.
Onyx straight back out again. I think he's looking for 2 runs here. One very quick run here, and if it isn't quick enough, he might just abandon it. We'll see what he does.
Yep.
He's
Calzo behind him.
Yeah, let's watch him actually. Is he on a flyer? He is.
He is, yeah. Calzo, I wouldn't discount him either because he has put in. He's grabbed pole out of nowhere before. Oh, that's a bit wide, Ascari. Might cost him.
Or was it Britain?
Yellow flags up ahead.
Was it Britain where he took that pole?
I think it was, yeah. Calzo taking the pole, and then he crashed on the second lap.
Ah, yes, I know, yeah. And that was also only a couple of hundredths off the ILR1 pole that day as well. I mean, this tier really is right up there now. But only P7 at the moment, but I'm going to ride on board again. Let's watch the Master at work.
Can he go even quicker?
Really
220 miles an hour into the first chicane then. The old track curves off to the right-hand side. Before we head to Curva Grande,
he's abandoned. So yeah, he was wide into turn 1 there. He got it all a bit wrong on the par. So he'll just pit in again. Like I said, if the slot isn't going well, you have to abandon it so you can get a run at the end. There's just not enough time to get all 4 runs done on those supers.
Yeah. Well, currently the 2 Ferraris, 11th and last. Matt Tibos trying to do something for the Tifosi. He knows he needs to put on a performance here if he wants to keep his slim championship hopes alive. Now, he is sporting the red helmet and the red Ferrari. It looks quite Schumacher-esque, if I'm totally honest. Coming through the second Lesmo then. Very out wide there. DRS will clip open here as he heads towards Ascari underneath the old track there under the bridge. That's where the banking is. Towards Ascari. The brakes get it turned in. Nicely done from Matt there. On power as early as he can. That was very nicely taken. That might be invalidated actually. He's run wide out of Ascari. Might get away with it, but we'll see. Up to Parabolic and out of the very last corner. One of the only original remaining corners.
Turned his ERS off there. I wonder if he is about to abandon and box it. Yes.
Yeah. It's not going well for Matt Tibos at all.
It's not. He really needs to get a lap in here, or else he could almost kiss his championship goodbye right now.
Yeah. But of course, we have still got the race to come, and it's full wet conditions.
Full wet, so we're still yet to see if it's typhoon or not, because there's still a chance of that. I really want to see some typhoon. But I have told the guys in the chat to let me know if they do see that somewhere, but yes.
So, currently, Onyx pole. Ollie P2, Flynn in P3, and Jake P4, Rafa in P5. By the way, your constructors is currently, I believe it's Haas from Mercedes. I'll just have a quick check on there. It is, and of course, Onyx is completely carrying Will to the constructors title.
Yeah, Will's had a messy season, hasn't he? He's had a few angry moments as well. He's lost his head many times, unfortunately. He's not shown the speed he had last year. Or last season, I should say.
Well, it is quite tight. There's only 34 points between themselves and Mercedes. Of course, Neo and Jake, very consistent. Jake has just been consistent point scoring, and Neo's grabbed 3 podiums. So the constructor's still very much up for grabs, and I think if just Mercedes keep consistent, they should be able to just maybe grab it. But if Onyx keeps the win streak up, then he could get the constructors pretty much on his own. Let's be honest.
He probably will. I don't see any reason why he can't.
Yeah. Anyway, 1 minute 26 on the clock. We're heading into the last round of laps. It's currently Onyx by half a second over Ollie, which is unbelievable around such a short circuit. And he is currently the quickest time across all tiers all weekend on a 118.54.
Actually, I want to see what ILR1 Xbox did, because ILR1 Xbox is actually generally somehow quicker. I need to just curiosity have a look at that one as well.
Yeah,
and yeah, we're quicker than that one as well, so we're really flying here.
Wow.
5/10 of a second. So
Let's just put this into perspective. This is Tier 2 of PS4, and we are quicker than Xbox Tier 1. It's unreal.
it's just incredible. So on board
Anyway.
again with our championship leader through the final corner again. Let's see, does he get an even faster time? I mean, he's clear by half a second. Does he really need it? It's debatable.
I think he just wants it. By the way, Tom's got P4. I didn't even notice that.
Yes.
So he's in there. So the Ferraris have got some pace, but still, nearly 0.8 of a second off of Onyx. Onyx on the power up towards curve of Gran. Now Joachim gets a little bit closer. 1:18.91 for Joachim. So if anybody else hooks up any laps, Flynn 1:18.7.
Getting there.
So
getting
they're
close.
getting closer. They're getting closer, alright, and we'll see if anybody else can maybe improve. But Onyx still on his way through Lesmo 1. On the power. Up towards Lesmo 2. Get it turned in. Clipping the apex. On the power. Correct the oversteer. DRS open. Down towards Ascari. Jake has finished his lap. He is P6. Here we go. To the left-hander. Committed. Through Ascari on the power, trying to get it turned in. That might be an invalidation, and again, it might get away with that one.
We'll wait and see.
Ollie retired. Anybody else improving? We'll have to watch for Matt Tibos. Is currently
Right behind
last
him.
of the pecking order. Yeah. So here comes Onyx. Can he go even quicker than a 1:18.540? He runs to the line. He's trying to get every inch of time. He can't improve.
It was invalid, but it was there. He actually had improved it. If he hadn't gone wide at Ascari, he would have got it. Matt Tibos is slow. He's last.
Oh, he's last. 1:20.3.
Oh.
P2 in the championship. He's
My-
last of the pecking order.
My ILR5 quality time was quicker than that. I wonder what's went wrong
Now,
there. He's had 4
I'm-
shocking laps.
I think I wouldn't put it past.
Has to be a
the
wet
fact that
setup, right?
He has to have been running a wet setup. There's
Surely.
no way that we know how quick Matt Tebas is. He had a pole position, so wow. His teammate, by the way, Tom P4 1:18.9. Good effort from
But,
Tom there. Only 600s behind Joachim, and Flynn a really good effort at 1:18.7.
Out of the way though, it just wasn't even in doubt. Onyx on pole by 2/10 a second, but it has to be said, we don't know how his setup is. Has he just gone full on for the dry setup? Has he not checked the weather? He says in the chat it's a half wet setup, which maybe isn't exactly what you want in the rain, but we'll have to wait and see. Oh, he says it's all except the wings. So he's got all wet except for the wings. So I'm actually at what everyone else is doing now. I'm just going to remind him as well to look out for the typhoon thing, because I just want to make sure it's definitely not typhoon.
Just to say that Flynn's time would have been good for 5th on the grid in ILR1. 1:18.75. Yeah, it would have been good for 5th place. So yeah, I think all the times in the top 4 at the moment would have been good for a top 10 start in ILR1. But Onyx, unbelievable time. 1:18.54 from Flynn in P2, Joachim in P3, Tom in P4, Ollie P5, Calzo P6, Samuel in P7, Jake P8, Raf P9, and Neo all the way down in 10th place. Lenny just outside the top 10 drop. You have Felix Plex at Funhead, and Matt Tibos last of the pecking order.
Well, it's debatable whether qualifying was worth that much. We'll have to wait and see, obviously, but well.
Dearie me.
This is not gonna be the easiest of evenings, and remember, we've got this weather the whole race. This is as wet as it gets in F1, and Lenny's confirming there's no monsoon, so actually it isn't as heavy as it gets, but it is nearly as heavy as it gets.
Yeah. It's still full wet conditions. The first full wet race we've had this season.
Yes, back in 1 minute.
Oh, dear Lord. So, potential championship clenching here. Matt Tibos doesn't score. It could potentially go his way. We'll have to watch what the others do. If Neo gets away well, we're going on to the formation lap now. It's full wet conditions for the entire race duration. Onyx on P1, then Flynn in P2, Joachim in P3, Tom in P4, Ollie in P5, Calzo in P6, Samuel, good effort, in P7, Jake P8, Rafa P9, and Neo just inside the top 10 then. Lenny from Jopia, from Felix, Plexit, Funaid, and Matt Tibos all the way down in last. Dear Lord, that is a very moist track. This is going to be quite hectic, I reckon. So Onyx, I'm not sure if he knows that he can win the title today. But it would be a really amazing feat if he could do it. It would be his 3rd win in a row and his 5th of the season. And a thoroughly deserved title at that one. But here we go. A couple more corners to go before we begin.
Hello, back again.
Yeah, just saying, Onyx on his way to potentially his 5th win of the season. I can't remember the last time we had 5 wins in such a short season.
Well, exactly.
He's nearly won half the races.
It's a half-length season thanks to the new game being out, since this is just stunning. I mean, it is just simply stunning. You can't deny this is probably one of the most dominant ILR2 seasons we've ever seen. Obviously, last season went relatively close to the wire. I mean, it was sort of confirmed going to the last race, but the season before was very close. Yeah. But point is, it's always extremely tight, and I can't wait. It's now time. We're now getting to the grid now. First wet race of the season. Matt Tibbles gets disqualified from the lap, and I don't know what effect that will have on the tyres. Obviously, it's not going to be very good already, just due to the fact that it's raining so heavily. So, what are we going to see here?
I really don't know, because there is not a wet line yet, and they've got to be so careful with the wheel spin off the line. A very high chance of a safety car, methinks, in this one.
Yes.
But it is going to be round number 8 out of 11. Onyx needs to be 75 points clear by the end of this race. Can he wrap up the title? Here we go. 5 red lights for the Italian Grand Prix. Lights out, and away we go. It's a good start from Onyx, good start from Flynn. He tucks it in behind. Onyx has got a great getaway all around the grass already. Flynn is going off the track. This is going to end in tears. Tom's got a good getaway in the Ferrari. Flynn manages to get through a little bit. They make contact, and they're going 3 abreast of the chicane. Joachim's around. There's going to be an absolute pile up in the... Oh my god.
Oh my god.
No.
That's not gone well. That
really has
not gone well. That is how many people have damaged there. Matt Tibos has lost a bit of his front wing and nearly into the back of another car. It's Plexix. More of his front wing's gone missing. Many penalties, I'm totally going to be giving out here. But Matt Tibos, his front wing is in absolute bits all over the track. He's going to have to make an early lap 1 pit stop here. And in the rain, this could affect him.
Gone.
Onyx is way gone, of course, you'd expect with all that free air.
I tell you who's made a great start, Rafa. He's fighting for P2. He did pick up a 5-second penalty, but he's side by side going up towards Ascari on the outside line. I think Flynn is backing out of it. Rafa, P2. It looks like there's been a crash off on it in the wall on the exit of Lesmo 2.
All going wrong then on lap 1 for everyone, pretty much, except for, of course, Onyx, who's nearly 4 seconds clear. This is Schumacher-esque. It's extraordinary. Yeah. And more yellow flags. We've got Plexix in Narnia.
Rafa and Flynn are having a hell of a battle, still for P2. But I think glad Onyx went and got that pole position now. So he's nearly 4 seconds clear off the first lap. We just saw a Formula 2 pile up at the chicane right there.
Oh, that's as Formula 2 is going to get. That's where the 2 comes in the ILR2, I think. But now we've got Flynn and Ollie, possibly. It depends what exits these guys get and how everyone's braking. As we saw, it wasn't great into turn 1 last time, but looks like we're okay this time. And Rafa stays ahead at the moment, but there's a huge slide.
All those pit stops, my god.
Yeah, well, effectively turns into 11-car race. I'm surprised that Joachim appears to be okay, despite the fact he lost 8 places and all that chaos. So, yeah.
Anyway, your biggest mover is definitely going to be Rafa, upset from where he started. He just somehow kept himself out of all of that. I'm sure his 5-second penalty will be removed because he got a 5-second penalty for passing on the yellow flag.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not really very fair when the whole field stops dead, let's be honest. But, this has reminded me of the start. Schumacher in Monaco 97. I watched that race the other day, and he pulled away just like Onyx is pulling away now. He just got the shoes gap out of the way instantly and can just cruise on. We'll see. He always gets a free air, as you can see on board. Nothing to worry about. And say from the back of Flynn, for example, he'll have all that spray. That makes it a little easier for Onyx as well to pull away. So it should be a rather easy day for him. But a whole pit stop behind the field, and in 14th is his main championship rival. And at the moment, it's looking like a pretty easy bet for Onyx to take his first ever ILR title today.
Yeah, because Neo got caught up on that as well. And if Neo doesn't score and Onyx wins, it's a surefire title. Absolutely no problem.
It's nearly there. He just has to get to the end now. 25 long laps to go. And important question.
Oh, Drop is off the road.
So is Jake falling off a bit as well there, and drops a 5-second stop go penalty, even though he's letting him back through. I feel that might get removed as well.
He completely cut the first chicane, so might be a little bit hard for them. But yeah, Neo 28 seconds. These guys are just completely out of this race now.
Yeah.
So it's just everything has just fallen into Onyx's hands. All he needs to do is A, not get a penalty, and B, bring it to the end.
And in typical fashion, you couldn't have picked a more difficult way to take this title home now. It may be a dominant lead at the moment, but in the heavy rain, one little error and you're in the wall. So, yeah, he just needs to keep ahead. He just needs to keep his head here now. He should know probably by now that his main challenger rival's gone. That is, of course, if he's even aware that he could take the title today. Like I say, I saw no one in the ILR2 chat even talking about it, even considering it. I mean, we only spoke about it a couple minutes before the race started. I mean, you were telling me there was no chance, and then we looked at it and thought, oh, wait a minute, there's a pretty good chance. And, yeah, suddenly we could see a shock ILR2 championship win today. And obviously with Blizzard taking the ILR1 title as well, that'll be the top two tiers done and dusted. Now we've got Dropshy trying to come back at Jake after letting him through after cutting the first chicane. Does he cut it again? Does he get his braking right this time?
No, Jake got that spot on actually.
Has Jake got front wing damage? I think Jake's got a broken front wing now.
Yeah, he has got a little bit. He got a little bit caught up in all that first corner chaos. But yeah, it's the fact that, oh dear, Calzo's hit the wall on the exit of Curva Grande. That's a lot of front wing all over the track.
That's a flat out corner and he's lost it there. That just shows how difficult these conditions are. Once again, proving my point, one little mistake and you're in the wall here. So it's going to be a very delicate battle, I think, here with the elements more than other drivers, I think, today at this point. But somehow we've still got all 16 drivers in the race. I think we need
I don't know how that's happened.
I think we need a safety car to sort of bunch these guys back up, because it really is just a two sort of races happening at the moment.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been. We wouldn't have discussed the title only for the fact that Onyx is exactly 50 points ahead of ahead of second. So 25 points, of course, would bring him to 75 because the other two currently are not going to score, which would of course allow him to win the title. However, Rafa is going to spoil that party if he keeps going the way he is, because he's setting fast lap after fast lap and catching him quite quickly.
That is correct. So we shall see. No,
oh dear, Calzo's Calzo. Oh god, I think Plexit's died.
Plexix is in the wall, yes. In one of the Les moves, I think on possibly the entry to Les. But one, and there's Fun 8 as well. Both of them on both Les moves, they've both died there. So we lost two cars in one go. I caught Fun 8's one on camera. That's where I lost it on ILR5, except I went into the left-hand side wall when you're looking on board. So yeah, two cars gone then, but no safety car as of yet. And that does now mean that Matt Tibos is last.
Yeah, I'm just looking on board with Felix. You can just see the lag is what I'm seeing. But I was just seeing the spray off the back of Dropia's car ahead of him. I think it was all that leaving sessions. I think was causing the old lag.
No, he's still lagging. Now. He's still lagging quite a lot there. That's really bad. He's properly hopping from country to country there. through the Lesmos.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we've got Lenny right behind him. He's just come back from a lovely holiday at Tenerife, and he's probably last thing he wanted to say was rain, but here we are. Welcome home, I guess. And yeah, he's now got a very laggy car in front of him. Hopefully, it doesn't wipe him out. Although he has now got Joachim passing him, maybe Joachim will be the guy to sadly get. Look at that Renault. That's dangerous. I wonder if he'll eventually DC. That's really
Cross
bad.
of death.
Oh,
it's the cross of death. Oh my god.
The alien indicator there, sort of
Yeah.
going off and all
Sector
sick.
3. That's for. Yeah,
That'll be for
him.
Felix, yeah.
You saw there, Rafa, another fastest lap. So he is going pretty quickly. I think they're matching each other for pace now. But Rafa, he is certainly a very quick driver. I've seen what he can do in other leagues as well, so I'm not going to discount him whatsoever. He's very consistent. But Tom now catching up to the back of Ollie. And I think... I'm not quite sure, but I think Tom might be the only one inside the top 5 who's currently on a pad. Not too certain, but he is. If he is on a pad, he's top 5 in the heavy rain. He's doing an excellent job.
Very good job, yes. Although I do feel I don't know, it's just from my own experience, I feel it's actually slightly easier with the pads when it's raining. Obviously, I mean, my 2 best races on this game this season, I'm on a pad. They've both been in the rain. So I don't know, maybe this can give Tom a little bit of a competitive advantage here. It could just be helping him a little bit more, the rain, so we'll see on that one. But certainly from my experience, on a pad, the rain is actually helpful for you.
Well, Alex just responded.
Absolutely, yep. Starting to pull away again, another fastest lap, but as you can see, it's a good 13 seconds off quali, which isn't actually that much, just because most of this track is straights.
Yeah. There's 13 seconds pretty much lost in those slow corners and the traction you get out of them, and the braking. It's not the straights, because they're still hitting ridiculous speeds. It's just going to be trying to get the thing slowed down for the corner.
Obviously, another thing to point out is that obviously when it's raining like this, there will be no DRS, so when you see those gaps under a second, you're going to have to do it old style. You're going to have to actually catch them and pass them with no other aids. So, in a way, it's sort of a little bit old school. And old school in the fact that we're going to get a championship leader win it 3 races earlier this straight. Although Matt Tibos is setting fastest laps, he's still got just so much to make up, it's not even funny.
Yeah. He is about 26 seconds off of our race lead, actually off of 10th.
Yeah. It's
26 seconds off of 10th.
Matt Tibos is just starting sector 2 now. Onyx is in the Parabolica. It is just such a humongous gulf between these two now. And Matt Tibos, he's only had 1 non-score all season, and that was when he had a crash with his teammate in Australia, the very first race. He finished 11 that day, and yeah, it's just not going well for him. And Tifosi are going to cry themselves to sleep tonight. What a way to lose it at Monza, if he indeed does lose it.
Now, he's got to keep in mind that all he needs in order to keep the title slightly alive, but pretty much guaranteeing it going into Japan, is he needs to finish 10th.
That's all he needs, yeah.
Yeah. That would, of course, put the gap to 74, which would pretty much guarantee Onyx to just wrap it up in Japan.
Yeah.
Because he would only need to outscore Matt by 1, which is very easily done. That's no, of course, disrespect against Matt Tibos, but even if Onyx did win and Matt came through to second, that'd be an easy title there.
Well, I mean, yeah, Onyx could quite frankly retire from all the races remaining and still potentially take it home. It just, when you build a gap that big, you can just afford any mistakes at that point. It's a very nice position for him to be in. But as I say, I genuinely don't think Matt Tibos is even aware there's a championship fight to be had today. Wouldn't surprise me if he didn't.
Maybe he's ruining the fact that he should have tried harder in qualifying.
Well, yeah, well, it's certainly helping Onyx, the half-wet setup. I mean, yeah, I assume everyone else must have tried the same type of thing though, but Matt Tibos' setup must have just been horrendous. I don't know what he was doing.
But we've had now the perfect
Wow, that's
demonstration.
early. That's a very
an
early pit stop.
for Jake.
Only 9 laps in, so a 2-stop strategy potentially here. And it's a new front wing. Maybe he's had a knock on that lap. Although he did have damage before, I know
5
that from earlier.
Though.
But only guy in the top positions to pit so far then. So, but yeah, that could... Well, it has to be a 2-stop for him. Will it be a 2-stop for everyone else? Obviously, in the rain tire, where it's quite frankly horrendous. And there's Felix off in turn 1. He's fine Narnia there.
Straight lines.
It's fine Narnia and come back.
Well, Jake is going to come out right behind this. Well, actually, he's going to be neck and neck with Tibos, who's going to just come in front of him. But we had the perfect demonstration of why track position in I almost said Monaco, Italy, is paramount with the absolute Formula 2 pile-up we just had. I've actually never seen anything like that in ILR2. I've never seen a pile-up like that. We never had it in Italy before, because they decided that trying to go 3 wide was a great idea. And it goes from bad to worse.
Well, I think it's that's a pile. I just think it's unfortunate. I think this is the second full wet race we've ever had here. First one, people sort of kept it relatively clean, I think, but this one, as you say, they're going 3 wide. It's not that they're all pan into each other, it's just that they're all to back up and not actually crash. And it's actually on the exit towards Curva Grande where most of the damage is done, I noticed, because certainly Matt Tibos, he picked up all his damage on the way to Curva Grande. So they all actually made it relatively okay for turn 2, I think.
Yeah, they did. Well, at the end, I think it was just the fact that they were just trying to find space.
Yeah.
Joachim just got sent around. It was a very light tap. It was a really slow speed spin, but it just allowed Onyx to just say thank you very much, and away he went.
Yeah. And he's kept that gap 4 seconds now, 4.1 seconds, and even the gap from Rapid to Flynn is... I mean, the gaps are all getting rather large. Everywhere, pretty much. Everyone's just sort of doing their own thing at the moment. And I'd say they're handling these conditions rather well, considering.
Yeah. Only 2 DNFs even after the chaos we had. So Alex just needs to stay focused for another 17-ish laps, and he's on his way to a title. I don't think we said I didn't think we'd be wrapping it up here.
Yeah, especially with the way last season we had 4 contenders with only a couple of rounds to go. I think it was 5 contenders after this race last season. It's certainly been a lot tighter affair in previous seasons. But you just got to say, I mean, this field, we know this field is super close as well. It is just extraordinary how he's managed to make this gap. I mean, remember Australia, the gaps were so close in qualifying. They're still always so close in qualifying. It's a little bit skewed today thanks to the wet setups, but generally this tier is very close, and it does just show you how good Onyx is.
Yep, he's really improved. Joachim's got a little bit punted there again by drop. Yeah, these guys are kind of the closest battle we have on track at the moment. We can see the spray that he's having to deal with. He's kind of moving out, so you can kind of see where he's going. Coming through Curva Grande. To be able to do anything there, it's so hard to follow. All you're seeing is a red flashing light ahead of you. And of course now now they have them on the end plates for next year, kind of the rear wing end plates, so they might be a little bit easier to see.
Yeah, it surprised me how dull it is on the game. I feel it's much brighter in real life than that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they'd have to be. It's extremely hard to see where you're going in the wet conditions in these cars. Seeing Jake making his way past Samuel, P13. He's made the early stop, very early stop.
Surprised that he's just got no pace there compared to Matt Tibos, actually. He's not really sort of caught him at all.
Yeah. Just seeing to lap 12:27. Still Onyx from Rafa, from Flynn, from Ollie, from Tom. Joachim, Droppier, Lenny, Felix and Calzo, your top 10. Then we have Neo, Matt Tibos, Jake, and Samuel, 2 DNFs, Funaid, and Plexits on lap number 2.
So, just kind of curious actually to see what sort of penalties there are. I know there was a few that popped up. I just wonder how many people had anything from lap 1 or anything. Because there was a few stop goes. We had Rafa, and obviously we saw Jake had one. There's also Dropsy had one. So there's actually only a couple of stop goes so far. And there was a lot more that popped up. So, yeah, something else to think about there.
Through. Funaid had a stop go. Just checking. Lots of warnings. Yako with a 3-second. Felix with a stop go.
What's happened there? We've got Matt Tibbles and Jake both behind Samuel, and that was nearly last season all over again.
Yep, I think Samuel had the alien indicator.
It's
I think
really
that was what was
weird.
wrong. He has the alien indicator.
Yeah, he's ahead again.
He's pinging all over the place. Oh no!
Oh dear! That's not actually making contact. They are not making contact.
Oh my god! Samuel is dead.
Jesus, he's time warped into another dimension there for a few moments.
If there was ever a demonstration of Halo needed, that is it right there.
Luckily though, Matt Tibos got no damage from that because the car wasn't actually there, I don't think. What we see there is probably not what they were saying, but fix it please, Cody's, come on.
Oh, Ollie's gone straight to the first chicane.
Felix pitting by the way as well. But 5 seconds
Ollie
stop go.
Yep, completely missed his braking, went straight on through the escape road. And that's going to put Tom P4 overall. So at least the Tifosi have something to watch.
So just wonder sort of why Jake decided to pit so early, because he seemed to be okay. I mean, it didn't look like he was needing to pit. I mean, he just held on for a few more laps. He could have done this in one stop. It's hard to tell if they can do it in one stop as Samuel retires. It's probably for his own health, really, more than anything else.
I think Matt Tibos is probably just going to try and see how far he can bring it. Because he did have to make a stop on lap 2.
Well, it's just a question of whether he has to make... well, he obviously has to make another one, but we know Jake has to make a second one, possibly. Onyx pits. You know, can Jake make it to the end? Because if he can't, then Matt Tibos is pretty much sailed there in 12th, and only 2 more retirements he'd need, and he'd be in those points again. So, it's not over yet. Far from it, in fact. But, let's just wait and see. That's all we can really do in these conditions. Let's see if anyone switches places in the pits, whether Rafa is okay. I think Flynn didn't quite get in there. Drop Sheet and Spaghetti Chips, Lenny's staying out. And Onyx is right behind Drop Sheet, so hopefully he gets through him okay.
Yep. So all the stops have happened. You can just see how far back the guys are.
And Tom's not ahead of Ollie as well, after that penalty, as you'd mentioned there.
Yep. So he's jumped him, that is for net P4. You can just see how much time the guys involved in that early lap incident lost. They're still P. They didn't gain any positions off those stops, and they're still 5 seconds off the nearest car.
Yeah, this is. I don't know. I'm just saying though, like, you just never know. Let's say one little mistake and someone's in the wall, and Matt Tibos is in the points. I don't really know what Felix is doing. I think he made an earlier stop, didn't he? So he should jump those two. Jake and Matt Tibos. I don't know if Jake is still staying out as well. He could get to the end. I don't know. I feel there could still be a chance for Matt Tibos. I mean, he only needs potentially only 2 more retirements. Assuming that Felix will pass him when he pits. We'll see. We'll just have to wait and see. But first, we need to make sure Onyx gets through the traffic. They should be pitting anyway, and they are indeed.
Yep. Holding inside line, so Onyx having no problems at all getting through there.
I wonder if we're going to see a fastest lap from Onyx now. Might just stay on board for this one because there's no real battles at the moment.
Yep, he actually gained even more time on the stops. You'll see what the gap is between himself and Rafa here.
Well, Rafa had his 5-second penalty, so that 5 seconds
9.4.
It's expected, really.
Yeah, it's still nearly 10 seconds. That
Is
only
Tibos jumping on any of those two? He might well do so, actually. Let's have a look.
that might be
He
crucial
is
here. Keep an eye.
into
He's
the
going to get
points.
ahead into the
So
points.
can he get to the end, really? That could end up being the question.
He needs to try.
It's such a long shot, isn't it? But
Yeah, it's his. I don't know if he knows this, but it's his only opportunity to keep the title alive.
That is just it. Does he know? Like I say, we only sort of worked it out beforehand. Normally, we'd have some form of promotion from Jack, or I don't think anyone even considered.
We just didn't
the
expect
chance.
it.
Yeah, no one expected it. But
See, the spanner in the works was Paco's not here, so that threw it up in the air.
And then suddenly
If
it
he
became
was here,
it suddenly went from optimistic to extremely likely when Matt Tibbles went last, and then on lap 1 it became even more possible. But now we're in a situation where if Matt can just get to the end on those tyres, then he can get there. But as you can see, he has his pit light on. So is the game expecting him in this lap?
Fastest lap.
RX does set that fastest lap. We'll just have to wait and see, because he looks like he has the grip. He's sticking very well to the back of Lenny.
yeah, who's on fresh wets. So
Exactly.
We'll just have to see. It's just
Tension.
yeah. I mean, it's going to make the title pretty much Onyx's for next race if he manages to hold on here. But just so you can have an outside chance, because you never know what can happen.
Exactly.
So he just needs to try and keep that title alive as best he can. But as well, Neo, he's
Lenny's deep. Matt has a chance here on the exit if he can get any good run, and he has got a good run. Where is he going to go, left or right? He goes right on the inside. Is this the move to keep him in the championship side by side with Curva Grande? Lenny on fresh wets and Matt Tibos on much older tyres, and he has got ahead.
Crucial move.
Oh. It's
That's his second one.
I
So
know. I think
that's kind of ruined it.
I might well actually put him right back down to last again, being brutally honest with you.
Yeah.
But still, he's got to try.
Yeah. Neo as well. I know he's gone 14 laps, but I think he could potentially as well keep it alive, because he is 59. He's 59 off of the
He's just got a
championship
penalty.
lead.
And he's struggling a bit as well. But then again, he has to get up to... Well, where does he have to get up to? He has to get quite high, doesn't he?
I think he needs...
think you can really consider him in this one, to be honest.
No, because again, he got caught up on that first lap instantly. He's on 14 laps on those set of wet, same as Matt Tibos. But Tibos is ahead. He's in P9. We're not quite sure how that's going to work out penalty-wise, because I think the guys behind have also got penalties. So,
Well,
if he holds on, there's drop you with a big dive bomb. Jesus, almost on Lenny. Not quite gotta get that done.
Well, I think the only guy that can take this title off Onyx tonight, it is literally only two people could take it off him possibly, and that would be Neo and Matt Tibbles. But Neo literally has to win this, of Onyx being literally nowhere. It's just not even possible at this point for that to happen. And then Matt Tibbles is behind even Neo, so that's it. If the race finishes right now, depending on penalties, it could actually keep going. But I'm going to check actually myself the penalties just to see. I think Matt Tibos has got
two. I'm fairly certain.
Lenny's got none. Dropsy has got one. Jake's got none. Felix has got one. Yeah, this is looking grim.
It's looking pretty grim. That's, of course,
that's even without an extra pit stop
that he might have to make.
Exactly. Yeah, this is.
And if he makes that pit stop, you may as well call it over.
Well, exactly. Yeah. The game is telling him to pit. You can see from his telemetry on the right, it is telling him to pit. So his tires mustn't be in great nick, and he has still got 10 laps to go on them. But as I said, what can save him is a double retirement or even a triple retirement. And well, with Dropsy and his dive bombs, here comes another one. We could see that happen.
Yeah, again, quite likely. Now he's made a mistake on the exit there, so he's gonna have to wait. a little while. But Onyx still sitting pretty. 9.2 ahead of Rafa, because even though Rafa's got very good pace, he just stole the fastest lap off of Onyx on the past 2 laps. A big slide from Onyx coming through Ascari there. So he's still pushing on, is Onyx. I think he just wants to give himself a comfort buffer just in case he puts a wheel wide or something.
See, what I think Matt Tibbles is actually doing here is he is trying to catch up to Neo and to Calzo, because if he can get by those two, well, they were also caught up in a lap 1 crash, and he'd be the lead of those cars involved. Obviously, Calzo broke his way a little later on, but he's still on 13 lap all tires. So if Matt passes Neo and Calzo, I don't really know what that does. I mean, it's hard to predict at the moment, but I mean, even passing those two could keep him in it, and he is, I think, catching them. This could be a very tense end to this race. Onyx, though, is doing everything he needs to be doing right now. So, he can't do much more right now. He's nearly 10 seconds clear at the moment. And Matt Tibos is still setting his personal bests.
Yeah, even on 17-lap-old tyres, he's pulled a second gap over Lenny, and he's trying his best.
Calzo penalty, that could help
Calzo's
as well.
got a penalty, that might help him as he tries to close up, because the championship literally hangs on Matt Tibos. If he manages to score just 1 point, then the championship goes to Japan. If he doesn't score and Onyx holds on to that win, it's all over. So, of course, if Onyx makes any sort of mistake and doesn't finish first, then it's definitely going to go to Japan. So he has to win, and Matt Tibos has to not score for this to work for Onyx.
It is just a question. Could it possibly be? Will the tyres make it? I mean, the leaders are pitting. Oh, Matt Tibos was inches away from ending his hopes right there and then.
So was Onyx, as you said. That instantly, he was completely full lock to the left, coming through Parabolica. So,
but last
Onyx,
if we saw the leaders pit after what 13, 14 laps. And Matt Tibos wants to go 26. Surely that's not possible. Like,
but he's going to try and make it possible.
It sounds like a Scott type strategy. You know what I mean? Like, this is Scott territory right here. He was very good at it, but is Matt Tibos going to do it to actually save his championship a little bit longer?
Well, I mean, Scott was in this very car.
Ferrari, it was
last season,
of course. So the car can do it, I think.
Yep, indeed it can. Remember, it got pole at Hockenheim. Well, discounting the fact that he was the only one who did it on Ultrasofts.
Small fact.
And he only lasted about 3 laps because of how bad the degradation was on the tires. But still, it's a pole position for Scott. It was still a pole position, and it still counted.
Yes.
So, now, I don't know what's happened there, but Rafa's kind of caught Onyx by about a second.
Well, that was happening a little bit before, and then the gap went back out again. So we'll see if it happens again. Once again, Onyx doesn't need to really go balls to the wall. He can just keep going, keep it calm. That's all he needs to do. Don't mess about.
Get a penalty.
Well, yes, also extremely important. Even if he does get a penalty, I think he should be okay. But we'll keep seeing. There's only 7 laps to go. This race has flew by, and I mean, the on-track action has been amazing, but certainly the tension's been right up there, and Calzo made a mistake on the exit of Ascari. Here comes Neo past him, and all that's going to help Matt Tibbles catch up, and he is now seeing a fight ahead of him, which could save his title chances for at least one more race. And Neo's a bit slippy-slidey on the last corner, so here comes Calzo once again, and this is perfect for Matt Tibbles. He's now in a second, and down towards turn 1, side by side. Calzo and Neo wheel binding on the straight, and on the brakes here's Calzo, a little bit of contact, and they're really going for it side by side on the exit. Neo has another slide. Matt Tibos is right there. He has a bit of a slide, but he's right in the wheel tracks now, and we've now got a three-way fight. Could this decide this championship for today at least? Let's find out.
Yeah, Tibos knows. Well, he might not know. But he needs to get past these two. He has to. That's not even a question. If he wants to keep this title going to Japan, and keep his just slim hopes alive.
Oh,
Calzo's had a
Calzo!
big, huge moment out of Lesmo 1. Keeps it together though.
It's interesting. His are 16 lap old. The two guys behind are 19, but he's struggling more. I'm just saying, this could still mean nothing for him. We really don't know what penalties are going to do.
Yeah.
But boy, is he going to give this one a go.
Well, the Tifosi are going to be watching with eager eyes as they watch their man try to keep the title up. He's got a massive run on Neo coming through Scary there, almost touching the gearbox. He run up towards Parabolica.
Look at the run from Neo, though.
Speed. Yeah, he has
really
got
nice.
Speed. It's the slipstream from Neo, from Calzo, through the Parabolica. Then Calzo is the cork in the bottle of this train, and Matt Tibos is the cork in the bottle for the championship. And here he comes on the inside. Huge run from Matt Tibos on the inside of Neo. This is crucial, but again, look at the straight line speed from Neo, who's got nothing on that Mercedes.
Look at the run from Calzo, yeah.
Now, does Tibos try anything on the brakes? No.
Lenny's going to be catching this.
Again.
Dropship's going to be catching too.
Yeah, sorry, Lenny's going to be right in there, and of course, Lenny doesn't have any penalties. So if he kind of sticks in there, he might get a good position out of this one. 22.
Nearly side by side on the exit of a Curva Grande. Backs off.
Backs out.
But then goes for it in the end, but still not quite there. No. Oh no, it's so painful. Thanks to these 6 seconds of penalties as well, and all this not being able to get past, he's just letting the guys behind close up. And at the minute, he's finishing 11 for 12. Felix has fallen so far back that I think worst is going to be 12 for him. This is so crucial.
Yep, and I don't think he knows it. So
have a great time in the chat realising, oh damn it, I could have just pushed a little harder. Oops.
I could have just gone for it in qualifying instead of running my wet setup.
Exactly, yeah. There'll be so many ifs at the end of this race if he can't keep it going, but let's just wait and see. This is not over yet. We've got 5 tension-filled laps to come here. We've got these 5 guys all possibly in this fight, which can decide the championship today. I don't think a single one of them knows it, but at the moment it is the fight for the championship here. And here comes Matt Tibos again. Neo does not have a good slipstream. This is one of the 2 overtakes he needs to make so far. And into turn 1.
And he's through.
He's done it.
Now, next target, Calzo, has to get past and needs to try and build as big of a gap as he possibly can. In these 4, well, it'll be 4 remaining laps by the time he...
Oh, in the wall!
That's crucial, that's exactly what he needed.
That is massive. So
that was a huge crash. That's the second time Calzo's done that today. Clipped the wall on the inside of Curva Grande.
Jake doesn't notice, but this is all on him now. If he doesn't stay close, then Matt Tibos could keep this going. I don't know what the penalties are like. I really don't, but I think Matt Tibos has got the most out of these guys.
Yeah, I think he does. He has 2. I will check the race director now.
I'll keep you updated what's going on track.
Yeah, Matt Tibos, 2 penalties. Neo, no penalties.
So that'll be P8 at least.
Dropsy's
got a penalty.
No, Dropsy has now got 2. Jake has got 1. Jake has got 1.
That's done it. Dropsy getting that penalty will keep Matt Tibos, I think, 10th at least. Which is exactly what he needs.
Yeah. And Rafa setting fast laps, by the way. Look at the gas come down to 6.3 up front, by the way.
Yeah.
So Rafa's closing, but not quite buying up. But Neo is on no penalties, so he is going to be 7th. Either way, if he doesn't make it over, and Droppy is going for a move on Lenny.
He has to start going for it now.
Yeah.
I think he's the only guy that can stop Matt Tibos. But look how slow he is, and that's going to hold up Lenny as well. And now this is helping Matt Tibos so much more. And Onyx, after looking so sure for the title after lap 1, looks like Matt Tibos has done enough to bring it back.
But the sheer magnitude of what this is about, like these guys are on 22 lap old wets, trying to bring them another 4
Well, that's just
laps
it. Do they make it? Do they make it? That's another thing. Can these guys make it? They're sliding about all the time now.
Yeah. So the train, Matt Tibos from Neo from Dropye, who's on 2 penalties. So they are equal. Neo is going to jump. Matt Tibos anyway. Jake has got 1 penalty. And I think Lenny also has none, from what I'm aware, from what I can see. So I'll just double check Lenny actually. He's on 2 warnings, so Lenny is going to jump ahead of Matt Tibbles. So Matt Tibbles, if he stays, he's going to be 9th at least.
Neo is looking brilliant on the fuel and the ERS as well for these last 3 laps. But what about his tyres? His tyres can go as well. Of course, they're the same age as Matt Tibbles.
Yeah, Rafa has caught another second.
I think it's too late though now. I think it is too late.
Though, yeah. There's only 3 laps left. If he keeps catching, he's still not going to catch him. Tibble, he's struggling for traction out of the first chicane there. This is so tense. Even if there hasn't been a lot of on-track action, the sheer magnitude of what's happening right now is beyond belief.
Just to give you context here, the medium tyres can't go as long as Matt Tibbles is trying to make these wets go. It doesn't sound possible, but it could just be. Although, I mean, they went on the last lap the mediums in ILR7 for, I think, straw blonde it was in the end. Does Matt Tibbles make it? This is so tense. And the funniest thing is, these guys probably have no idea what this is.
Unless they're listening into the stream.
Well, of course.
Yeah, and as well, these guys, Matt Tibbles and Neo, their tyres have done over double the distance of the guys behind them, and they're still holding on, but Neo's got a poor run. Here comes Dropia now. Towards the parabolic, he'll get in the slipstream. Round the outside, he has 2 penalties, but he needs to make the moves. And if he gets past Matt Tibbles, that's surely going to put an end to it.
Well, it could leave Matt Tibbles 11th. We'll have to wait and see, but Dropshay has to get a move on now. He's got 13 lap pressure tyres. Oh, this is going to be so tense. Oh,
2 laps left.
I'm feeling a Brazil away here, I'm telling you.
Yeah. Is that Matt? Is that Dropia? Let's find out.
Oh, he's fallen. His teammates passed him.
But just for context, Dropia may be about to make one of the most important overtakes of his entire career. Right here.
And he won't even know it. He will have no idea.
And he won't even know it till afterwards. And
he's got it wrong.
Oh, he's missed the chicane.
That could be a 3-second time penalty. That's it. 3-second time penalty.
That's it.
That saves Matt Tibbles. So it's all about the tyres now. Does he make it on these tyres? Matt Tibbles is gone nearly the whole race on these tyres. Neo as well. If Neo's tyres go as well, then that could be potentially Matt Tibbles finishing ahead of him anyway. But at the moment, Matt Tibbles is 7th.
Onyx is on the final lap. Onyx is on the final lap. I don't know if he knows, but he might be. Because Matt Tibbles has got to negotiate one final lap on a 25-lap-old set of wet tyres. Onyx might be on the way to the title, he just doesn't know it yet.
And of course, if it doesn't happen today, it's a surefire thing it's going to happen
in
Japan. But I'm telling you what,
Matt Tibbles, here he comes, final lap.
It can still all happen on this last lap. It's only 1.2 seconds, and with dying tyres, and no fuel and no ERS. Look, he's used it all.
And Lenny had to make the move on Neo. Can he make it? No, he's not going to be able to. Neo's going to go deep. Can he? Well, nicely done from Neo to stick his car where it needs to be, but Lenny as well, no penalties. So he's trying to make the move as best as he possibly can. Anyway, Onyx through Ascari.
Onyx is... Little does he know how crazily tense this race has been. And he has no idea wholly why. That could put Tom on the podium here for the Ferrari team.
Possibly.
We'll wait and see. But Onyx, around the final corner, is this the championship? We'll have to wait and see. At the moment, it doesn't look like it. But you just never know.
Slide.
Onyx comes to the line. It is the win in Italy. Is it the title?
Win.
Let's find out.
This is so crucial. Rafa, by the way, fastest lap gets P2. Great drive. Flynn, P3. Doesn't give Tom the podium. Let's see. Matt Tibbles needs to score points. If he doesn't score points, Onyx will win the title. Towards the final corner now. Dropia is behind him. Neil has dropped to 2 seconds behind. And he's got a fight with Lenny up towards the Parabolica. We'll keep an eye on that battle as well. No podium for Tom. Matt Tibbles through the last corner. Is this the title for Onyx? We'll find out. Neo and Lenny are battling towards the line behind. Matt Tibbles across the line. Here he comes. Let's watch where he finishes. Across the line.
9
Oh,
10th,
he's
done it. Just a bite, and that last penalty for Dropsy, I don't think it mattered in the end. I think, but
Oh my lord!
how close do you
Just,
want to be? My
just.
goodness. Let's have a look at the gap there, at the end, and this
Unbelievable.
this does make the gap then 74
points.
points at the top for Onyx, so it's no championship. And in fact, it was by nearly 4 seconds in the end. So Dropsy didn't really get there in the end.
Yeah,
He wasn't even close.
Yeah, I can just say that Matt Tivos got that by just over 0.6 of a second. That's how close it was. But no title for Onyx just yet. So close yet so far. But again, what a race from him. Just dominant. And Rafa from 9th on the grid to 2nd place as well. Excellent job. Flynn P3, Tom P4 where he started, Ollie P5, Joachim in P6. Lenny got a great finish actually, P7.
He did, yeah.
He just got Neo on the line by 0.02 of a second. So nice job from Lenny. Jake in P9 and Matt Tivos has just kept the title alive by finishing in 10th place. The gap now 74 at the top. And we head to Japan next time out.
Well, it's almost impossible for Onyx to lose this now, but you just never know. Yeah, for everyone who stuck through to watch that, hope you all enjoyed it very much. I certainly enjoyed it. What a great way to set up a championship win anyway. What a crazily tense race. And yeah, we've got ILR Americas next, so that'll be at 10 PM, I believe. So I hope you're all looking forward to that. Also, remember on Tuesday, we've got the ILR7 Sprint Championship. You can win money in it. So I'll be doing that one, so be sure to watch that as well. But from us here in ILR2, that'll be it. Thank you all for watching, and hope you can all calm down after that. That was very tense, and yeah, safe travels. See you guys.